now turn up.
Dear Laura, what do I do? This is a question being asked. So I realized that for those of you who follow me on Twitter, I'm sure you know this. So I think I'm becoming an agony auntie, sort of, where people just come into my DMs. Oh Laura, can I have your phone number? Strangers, complete strangers, I don't even know them. And they're like, oh Laura, oh so and so happened and blah 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 blah. Please, what do I do? And from my own point of view, I just tell them, okay, do this and do that. But it's been reoccurring every other time. Laura, what do I do? Oh Laura, this is that. And I just thought to myself, okay, so I do not project my own bias, I do not project my own interest, I do not project my own opinion, because the world is changing. You think you know it all, and trust me, you actually do not know anything. So I reached out to some of them and I said, oh, you've asked me these questions, and I think I would want to throw it out to my audience, and let's get a diverse opinion. And this is why we are having this new segment on Laurasboxx called Dear Laura, what do I do?
Dear Laura, what do I do?
Hi guys, so welcome back to Laurasboxx. If it's your first time of just stumbling on this page, this wonderful, amazing, lovely YouTube channel, please, that's the red button there, click on the subscribe button. Subscribe, tell your friends, share these videos, comment. Like, this sort of series is nothing without your contribution. So please drop your comments. We want to hear from you. We want to know what you think about this Dear Laura, what do I do series. So we're going to start from I think this is the last message I got, so I tried to start from this one. I'm not even going to delve into previous messages, except you guys, if you've sent me a message before, you've called to ask me, oh Laura, what do I do? And you want me to talk about it, please send me a message, laurasboxx@gmail.com, or drop me a Twitter DM. My Twitter handle is Laurasboxx and it's opened. Or you drop me an Instagram DM, Laurasboxx. You can actually reach me at any point. So let's start. Let me start. So the reason why I decided to start with this particular topic was, so when this lady reached out to me, I felt like she was talking about me. I felt like she was talking about me because I have had this experience, and I tried to say this. I tried to go through this first so that I tell you guys my own story, and though mine is past, I don't even know if I made a mistake. I don't even know if I did the right thing. I honestly don't know. I'd like to hear from you guys. So let me start. Dear Laura, I'm an avid fan of yours, and I sort of relate with your experiences from social media, especially Twitter. I need your advice, and I don't mind if you draw other people's opinion to it. So I schooled in the East and had a much older roommate who was dating this young man from the South. He would visit our hostel, buy stuff for her, and also buy stuff for me because we lived together. He was such a fun guy, and I admired their relationship. After a while, I noticed my roommate started seeing someone and had limited time for this guy, but it was none of my business. I didn't even talk to her about it because she was just my roommate and a much older person. Shortly after she got married to this new guy. Fast forward many years later, in 2019, I ran into my roommate's ex-boyfriend, let's call him Osade, on the plane. We exchanged numbers, and he came to Abuja on a work trip and called me, and we hung out. Laura, he is now a fine man and really doing well. He has been asking me out, and he says his next relationship must lead to marriage and how he wants to build a life with me. Now, my roommate isn't exactly my friend, but we exchange comments and follow each other on Instagram. I am actually confused. I do not know if this is proper, if I should date my roommate's ex-boyfriend. Please, Laura, what do I do? So I think I should read this again for those of you who do not understand. So let me read this again. Dear Laura, I'm an avid fan of yours and I sort of relate with your experiences on social media, especially Twitter. I need your advice and I don't mind if you draw other people's opinion to it. So I schooled in the East and had a much older roommate who was dating this guy. He would visit our hostels often, buy stuff for her and ultimately myself. He was such a fine young guy. After a while, I noticed my roommate started seeing someone and had limited time for this guy, but it was none of my business. Shortly after she got married to this new guy, fast forward many years later in 2019, I ran into, let me call him Osade, my roommate's ex-boyfriend on the plane. We exchanged numbers and all. He came to Abuja on a work trip and called and we hung out. Oh my God, he is now a fine man and doing really well. He has been asking me out and says his next relationship must lead to marriage and the next person he must have anything to do with must lead to marriage. My roommate isn't exactly my friend, but we exchange comments and follow each other on Instagram. I do not know if this is proper. Please, Laura, what do I do? So basically, let me summarize it for you guys. So this lady contacted me on Instagram actually. And she follows me on Twitter. And she said she schooled in the East and she had like a much older roommate. And this roommate has been, seeing this guy who would come often to the hostel, buy things for the roommates, and also buy for her. Of course, they are roommates now. I'm sure those of you who I'm sure most of us went to university, so I'm sure if you had roommates, like for those of us who schooled the University of Lagos, I'll come back to that. And shortly after, this roommate testing someone else. So now, this is what she sent to me, but we exchanged ideas, and I asked her, oh, what happened? She said, oh, our roommate's testing an Igbo guy. She's an Igbo girl. The roommate is an Igbo girl. She's testing an Igbo guy, and just like, okay, her parents will be comfortable with her getting married from someone from her place. And shortly after, she got married to this Igbo guy, like shortly after. And of course, nobody heard from this, in quote, she said, let's call him Osade again, nobody heard from him. So fast forward many years later in 2019, she was on the plane. She lives in Abuja. The guy lives in Lagos. And they met on the plane. Oh, how are you? Blah, 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 blah. And they exchanged numbers. He came to Lagos, he came to Abuja rather. They hung out. Of course, they saw each other. They exchanged contacts. They started talking. They would talk. From talking, and he said, oh, I would like to date you, and my next relationship, I'm not exactly a young man, my next relationship is going to lead to marriage, so if we're going to date, you have to look forward to us getting married and everything. Now she's confused, and she's like, dear Laura, what do I do? Now this roommate of mine is not exactly my friend, but we exchange comments and they follow each other on Instagram. So what does she know? What do I do and everything? And when she said this thing to me, I remembered I had something very similar. So I went to University of Lagos, and at one point I started living in this hostel. So for me not to review plenty information, I just started living in this hostel, and I had a room. It was like I think it was a 3-man room, but somehow myself and one particular girl always stayed in the same hostel. And when she told me this story, I just laughed. I'm like, excuse me, are you me? Like, this is so similar. Just that when I did school in the East, and of course I didn't run into anybody on the plane, and we stayed together. And she had this guy she was seeing, and very I don't know, I didn't know much about him, but cool guy. Of course, if you have a room, if your girlfriend has a roommate, so once in a while, if you come and you buy Coke, you probably say, Laura, take Coke. So he would come, and I would excuse them. I would go to my friend. I have a friend. But those of you who know me, I have a friend called AZ. I'll go to her room. I'll leave them together to talk, whatever it is they wanted to do. And it was like a normal thing. They would come, they would talk sometimes, or even watching football, or arguing about, oh, Chelsea this. And she didn't like football, he liked football. So we would both argue, oh, Chelsea this, oh, Man U this, blah, 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 blah. And I remember she was actually doing a master's. She was doing a master's. She wasn't even doing me. I was like my first degree. She was actually doing a master's and everything. And somehow, all of a sudden, it starts coming often. So I would even ask her, what's up now? Where you and everything? She's like, it's fine, nothing and everything. Then somehow another guy started bringing her back. Like when she's done with her lectures, she was also working, and bring her back. I didn't ask questions. I just like, okay, no wahala. Then shortly after, she just sent a message and said, Laura, I'm having my introduction tomorrow. I said, oh really, to him? And she said no, to someone else. I said, oh, congrats and everything. And our own argument was, she's Catholic, and I think the guy is a witness or something, but she's Catholic basically. And her parents wouldn't want her to get married to someone who isn't Catholic. So I said, okay, no wahala, And obviously she had done an introduction, so she stopped coming to the hostel every time. Maybe, I think she's from the east too. So I think when you do your introduction, you sort of, go to the guy's house often. So she was she wasn't frequent. So I started staying alone in that hostel, like free room. I was so happy. Like, thank God, the one man don't carry this girl come off for hostel sha. And I remember one time the guy now came. I think he called her. She didn't pick. So the guy came to the hostel and he met me and he was like, Laura, I'm calling her. She's not picking. I think something is wrong. I said, okay, let me call her for you. I couldn't just even tell him that almost this is what's going on. So I called her and she picks my call. So I said, this person is here. She dropped and sent a message and I was like, blah, blah, blah. So I said, oh, I think she's not feeling well. She went home and that guy couldn't go to her house. That thing passed and I didn't even hear from him. I didn't see her. The only place I would actually see this chick is on Facebook. I didn't even think Twitter was even exactly popular at that point in time. So that I would only see her on Facebook. I saw her on Facebook. I saw that she had done a proper traditional and cut and white wedding over the years. I saw that she already had a son. And, I also, shortly after, I gave birth to my daughter. And I think I went for postnatal. What's this thing? I don't say we're born. Kewa is going to be 10 this year, so I can't even remember. What's this thing? Immunization with my child. When I ran into this guy at the hospital. Oh, Laura, you have a baby. And Kewa was not even 1. She was about 7 months or so. I said, yes, so I have a baby. How is your husband? I said, oh, I'm not married and everything. Oh, let me have your number, and we exchange contacts. And all of a sudden, this guy, he used to work in a particular bank. I don't know if he still works in the bank now, or rather I know. I'm just trying to not to reveal so much information so that maybe the wife is like a fan and watching and she's like, oh, this is not my husband. And he would call, he would leave his office. Back then it was in Apapa traffic. He would come to my house and he would call me. I'll come outside. I didn't like coming to my house. I'll come outside. I'm like, what's the problem? And they said, oh, you're a nursing mother now, so I brought food for you. I brought cake. I brought drinks. I was okay, thank you. From bringing food and drinks, the one day he came and said, okay, I should come out. I came outside and he said, oh, Laura, I actually like you. I would like to have a relationship with you. Now, at the point when I had my daughter, of course, I'm a single mom. First of all, I just felt, and to be honest with you guys, I think between when my daughter was age 0 to 2 years, I think I had the most proposal. I had 3 people propose to me. I wasn't even dating. Like 3 people proposing that, oh, I want to get married to you. And I was a bit skeptical, like, why do you want to get married to me? You guys knew before I even had my child. You guys didn't ask that you wanted to marry me. All of a sudden, I have a new baby that is even less than 1. And you're all saying, I want to marry you. So I just felt, I was a bit awkward. Or maybe I was naive. Or maybe I was scared. I really didn't know what it was. So he was one of the men who also came and was like, oh, I want us to have a relationship. I'm going to love your daughter like mine. It doesn't really matter. And secondly, was the fact that, come on, this guy was my roommate's boyfriend. And this thing about, don't date your friend's boyfriend. No, she's not my friend. But don't date your friend's boyfriend and don't do this and don't do that. And I was so like, no, I can't have anything to do with you. God forbid. I will know this. I will know that. And it was very persistent for about 3 extra months. And after a while, I even stopped picking his calls. I just felt like, I beg, I'm a new mom. Your calls are disturbing me. I'm not even in the right frame of mind for a relationship and everything. So I stopped picking his calls. And that's where I know how to make very brash decisions actually, Sha. I'm just trying to learn. So I just stopped picking his calls. Like, I beg, stop disturbing me. You're actually bothering my life. And of course, we stopped talking. Then last year, my mom's brother, who was just made a divisional head of, his bank, like in charge of a particular region in West Africa, and I said, oh, my colleague, so person and so person, and he mentioned his name, and I'm like, oh. I went to the internet, I put his name there, I just started reading, and this guy was already doing well. Guys, like, he was actually working there, doing well. Do you understand? I'm just saying, you know, when I don't know, I'm just trying to be, you know, as reasonable or realistic as possible. Like, this guy was a big boy. Not even was, he's already a big boy. I checked his Facebook. I saw that he got married to one chick. I even knew the chick back then. I think she was Unilag. She was just so close to us and everything. Got married to her. They're touring the world. Today they're in Milan. Tomorrow they're in Italy. Next tomorrow they're in Greece. The next day, maybe they even travel like 10 times in a year. The next time they're in Barbados. You know, living the life with a son and a daughter. And I'm like, okay, you are not. You won't even blame me. So I just, and I'm like, did I make a mistake? At the end of the day, this guy wasn't exactly my friend. What if this guy was my husband? You know, who doesn't want to live the good life? Of course, everybody wants to get married and get married to, at the end of the day, you're working, but your husband is also doing well, and a man who is actually comfortable, and he's actually a responsible man. Like, he has a proper job. Do you understand? So it's not like those men that, what are you doing? You don't know what they're doing. Like, you can boldly say, oh, this is my husband. He has a responsible job. He's tall, he's dark, he's handsome. And the kind of man where you go carry, come up, and you go sit down and say, oh, meet my husband. You know, he's fine, he's tall, he's dark, responsible. Oh, but where does he work? Oh, he works in a social bank, he's the head of this. You know, you'll be priding that, okay, this is my man. And just like, oh, wow, so this guy, and you know, just talking to myself that, okay, was I naive? Did I do something wrong? Maybe I should have, or maybe if I wasn't ready, then I would have said, okay, I'm not exactly ready for a relationship, but you know, we could be friends and let's see how it goes. I'm not completely pushing me away. Or maybe I actually did something right by not marrying my former roommate's ex. Now, that was my own opinion. Now, I actually told this lady who sent this message, I gave her my own, you know, candid opinion. But I'm trying it out to you guys now. What do you think? I'm trying not to project my own interests, my own bias, or whatever it is I think is right or wrong on her. So I'm throwing it out to you people. What should she do? You know, it's a very similar story. That's why I said, okay, I'm going to start with this particular series. Just let's even title it episode 1. I am going to start with this because it felt like this was me. Like, it felt like this. I asked her, are you me? And this thing happened to me 10 years ago. Like, are you me? I asked her that. And you know, it actually took this guy like 3 extra years after that thing with me before he got married. Because in fact, last night, I still went to the wife's speech. She's now like an Instagram, you know, this IG, you know, you're rich on Instagram. You become an IG, yummy mommy, hello mama. She's not like an hello mama kind of person because, man, she's grooving. Today she's rocking her Chanel. Like, I just feel like she married well because I know him and I know I knew when he was dating my friend. He was such a hands-on guy. Like, when our bulb would blow that time, my friend would call him, this one, that one, even though we had maintenance, so just one small complaint, the bulb just, it would come, and this very hands-on, very responsible. And from going through his page, I can see that he's actually still a responsible man. Like, still from my own, you know, idea and whatever it is I'm looking at. Do you understand? So, I don't know, what do you think she should do? Now, you guys know the background. If you don't know the background, just rewind and see what she said. You guys know the background. Oh, I forgot. She's actually 36 now. She's 36. So do you think... like, she said something to me, like, when we're exchanging conversation. She said, Laura, in your words, I'm an advanced single. And I just laughed because those of you who follow me on Twitter know that that's like my favorite word. Like, I keep saying that some mistakes I made in the past, I can't make him as an advanced single. Do you understand? And everything. So she said, Laura, in your words, I'm an advanced single. I'm 36. You know. So do I say that? I actually like him. I think she does. Let me go through streams of messages again. So she said, you know, I actually like him. In the past few months, things have changed. He's very concerned about me, my job, my family. You know, I have someone I talk to every time. I'm happy, but I am scared of taking this further. So guys, what do you think? Somehow I think she's happy with this guy. Do you think that, you know, her exchanging comments on Instagram, come on, if Mark Zuckerberg decides to close Instagram now, that's the end of that's the end of our communication with our friend or our roommate. So is it enough for her to say no to this guy? Let's be honest, I'm just asking. So guys, this is it. It's just a very short story. What should she do? Should she, like, you know, start a relationship with this young man and, you know, take it further? Let's see. Or should she, like, just tell him, I'm not interested because you went out with my former roommate, and, you know, and now this roommate is married though, just to, like, she's in the husband's house with 3 kids and everything. Should she, you know, I don't know, what do you think? Should she call off whatever it is, the friendship, or should she just, you know, plunge in? Come on, at 36, some people want to get married. Even me, I want to get married. Yeah, if it happens and everything. So what do you think? I need your opinion. So I'm sure she's reading. I'm very sure she's reading, because I told her, oh, I'm going to bring it up here. So she's actually excited to read from you guys. So please do not just watch and just, you know, keep quiet. Please watch and give your opinion. It doesn't matter. You have your opinion. So I'm sure she will filter everything through. Or those of you like to write and say your opinion in full, she would filter everything through and she would come to a conclusion. So I think we should help a sister, you know. So this is the end of the first episode of Dear Laura, What Do I Do? If you have stories you want to share, you need me to, you know, tell you what I think, or you need my people to tell you what they think, send me a DM on Instagram, Laurasboxx, or send me a DM on Twitter, Laurasboxx, or just send an email, laurasboxx@gmail.com. But while you're at that, please repost our videos, share the videos, drop your comments. It's an interactive session. Please don't just watch and move. Drop your comments, and above all, hit the subscribe button, okay? And so see you guys very soon. Hopefully the next Dear Laura, What Do I Do? We would, you know, go through the comment section and, you know, come to a conclusion and share our next story. So thank you guys, and see you guys soon. Bye.